Everyone, and welcome to MediaValet's HotDAM Talks. I'm Carly Hill. I'm the Director of Growth Marketing at MediaValet, and today I am so thrilled to be joined by Cierra Colelli, the Social Account Manager for Blanc. So welcome, Cierra.
Hi, everyone. Thank you. Very excited to be here with you all today.
We're super excited to have you as well. So we'll just jump right in. To start us off, can you tell us a little bit more about yourself as well as about Blanc?
Yes. So as you mentioned, my name is Cierra Colelli. I work with a company called Blanc. So we are out of Toronto, Ontario. We are a live events and production company. So we service different types of events, all in the B2B and B2C markets. So on our B2B side, you can find us doing anything from like a small meeting to a large annual conference. And we are pretty much national at this point. So we have serviced events all over the country and hopefully into the States very soon. From a social side, on our B2C side, we service a couple of venue partners that we have in the wedding market, as well as really high-end, large-scale special events outside of kind of anything meetings or wedding related. So that's a little bit about Blanc. Anything from entertainment to audiovisual. So live musicians, DJs, bands, all the way into sound, lighting, video production, as well as design. So that's a little bit about Blanc and what we do in a nutshell, but obviously I can go on and on forever.
100%. Yeah, it sounds like you have a ton of offerings and like you put on some really great events. Can you share a little bit about what was happening at Blanc and kind of what led you to look at a DAM and what were those challenges that you were facing?
Yeah, so around the time that we got started with MediaValet, it was back in 2018. So we'd been operating for 10 years. And our biggest challenge was that we had so much content, images, sales pieces, brochures, marketing elements that we had captured in those 10 years that we wanted a place to store them that wasn't going to be always on like our hard drives of our computers. So our biggest challenge is that we were producing such amazing events and we had come such a long way and grown. And we just needed somewhere to store all of that was going to be, one, accessible to everyone in our team, and two, easy for us to share with clients when we wanted to share with them specific assets of our work. So it was really a stepping stone and a tool that we were looking to use to, one, still keep a really professional platform, but to be able to share our work with clients that was not going to bog up their emails, be really large files, and sending them pieces of our work that they were going to now have access to. So it was a way for us to really control what we were putting out and sending out to clients, and just keeping our branding and everything really in-house.
Perfect. And how are you using MediaValet today?
Yeah, so we use, I would like to hope, all the features on MediaValet. So anything from light boxes, web galleries, portals. So we're using it to store all of our assets. So we use it to categorize all of the years, events, and everything that we're working with. And we categorize everything and tag it so that it's easily accessible and we can find everything as we go. So using it to share with clients galleries that we want them to see that's specifically curated around images or videos that we want them to have. We're using branded portals, which I think we'll get into a little bit more, but to share with clients a more in-depth look at assets that we want to have more information around. And branded light boxes in meetings, consultations internally, so that we can easily store everything in the appropriate files so that we're not searching through the system all the time.
Perfect. I know you touched on it really briefly just there, but can you dive a little deeper into how you're using branded portals, as well as I know you use light boxes and web gallery. So just explain kind of how you decide which one to use as well.
100%. So branded portals were probably my favorite when they came out, just because it was finally an opportunity for me to curate something that had multiple assets and categories that broke it down in a really easy way when I was sending it out to clients. So we've been able to manipulate it in multiple ways. So we have a whole bunch of them that are created around the specific client that we're generally in chats with. So for example, being in events and having different venue partners, we're always having different conversations around different spaces. So we were able to brand the portals around the specific places that we were chatting with our clients on, as well as from our corporate side. We were hosting virtual events in our studio. We had multiple studio spaces. So we used it almost as a cut sheet, which we were constantly updating with different images. So we had the ability to obviously brand it and then section it with all the different categories that we wanted with descriptions. So instead of putting everything into an email, you send them this link to this branded portal, and everything was broken down there in a really clear, concise way, and also searchable, which was really huge for us. When it comes to galleries, like web galleries, we're using those as scenarios when we're just looking to send a client a couple assets that pertains to their question in a really quick, effective way. So it's like, for example, we produce stages, so like platform stages. So if we have a client wondering, what the different size options they have are, we can just really quickly send them 2 of each size in a gallery, hyperlink it into the email, and overtype on the wording so they know if they click here, they're going to see this size. If they click on the next link, they get the next size, and bada bing, bada boom. So it's a little bit more of a one-off. And then we do a lot of one-on-one client appointments. So the branded light boxes are really helpful for us to switch back and forth between the different categories of assets while we're in person with the client. So I kind of went a little bit backwards, but we use our branded portals initially in a first meeting with the client, and then branded light boxes. Then we go into our portals, which with the portals, we'll use it as a follow-up. So once we're not there with the client, it's a really easy way for them to navigate all the assets that we're trying to put in front of them, if that makes sense.
Absolutely. And I know last time we spoke, you gave this great example about how you use it for DJs as well, or not DJs, for bands, showing that what is 9-piece.
Exactly. Yeah. So we like to tier it. So for example, if, everybody has an option, and I'm sure everybody has a scalable option where, client has a choice of option A, but you can give them option B and C. So we were using portals as a way to be like, hey, you can start with option A, but if you want to enhance your offerings with us, this is what the next 2 options can give you. And the portals was a great way to do that because, again, we had the opportunity to put a little bit of text in the section, so we can just speak to it a little bit more with it all being, again, in one spot. And I also love the fact that it's password protected. So if I don't want it to be searchable to people, I can send them the link and be like, here's your password to access the platform. And I can also, I believe, set an expiry time to it, which I really love, because there's nothing better than getting someone to call you back when they can't get into the file anymore.
Absolutely. Not a use case I thought of, but that is a very great sales use.
A little savage. I'm sorry.
Yeah. Amazing. And what results or outcomes have you seen with MediaValet? And is there anything that you're doing today that you couldn't do before?
Yes. So I think our outcomes have been amazing. It's created a really seamless way to communicate with clients. So in 2 ways. One is in the initial, before it's sold, showing them the capacity of what we can do. It creates a very reputable image of our company when they have it looks so seamless. The platforms that we're using to communicate with clients just look really clean. Nothing's being, again, bogged down in your emails where you can't send files, or the files won't send because the email's too big. So for that, it's made our communication a lot easier, because it's just a quick link. You put it in an email and it's so fast. I mean, once you get the system down, I can create a web gallery in like 10 seconds. So it's like I go in, I click, and I send it to a client. So that's something that I never had the ability to do before, which is huge. And repeat the second part of the question.
Is there anything that you can do now that you can't do before? Or
yeah. Okay. So that part is what I was saying. Oh, sorry. What's made it better?
The results or outcomes.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's been huge, as well as it's helped us with upsells. Now we have the ability to really quickly show clients what else they can do. And for us being in such a visual industry where it's hard for people to, they're not buying off an online category, they're buying off an experience, an emotion, and a feeling. It's a lot easier for us to communicate that through pictures and videos versus just our words. So that's been really helpful for us.
100%. I can imagine just the experience that you give them is a little bit of a differentiator as well. I know for some of our internal events we've worked with, some vendors where it is not the best experience in terms of what they're presenting with you with.
Right.
So.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think we were chatting about this the other day, is that like, I've still come across other companies who, we're in 2023 and they're still using really dated images, or again, showing people like files off a desktop. And so this just gave us a really clean image to clients, but also just made that whole sales transition really, really simple. And we look so professional using, such a great platform. And people are always intrigued when we're maneuvering MediaValet, because they're like, where are you hosting all of this? And what is all of this? Right? Because a lot of people haven't seen something like it before. So it's pretty unique.
Amazing. I love it. Thank you. All right. Can you share a HotDAM moment? So a time when you're either really impressed with MediaValet or really helped you out?
Yes. I know I worked through this. I'm forgetting what I was I was gonna say. I think just overall, my HotDAM is like putting in all of our assets, like 10 years worth of assets, plus everything that's happened in the past almost 5 years. So for me, it's just being able to go back and see the evolution of what we've done. There are pictures that I remember uploading right when we started, and sometimes I just go in and like I delete them because I'm like they're so different than where we are now. I'm like I don't even want to see them. They're not even comparable. So for me, my biggest HotDAM is seeing the evolution of where our company has come from and where we're going. And just, knowing that MediaValet is always coming out with new tools as well to help us. And one of those things being like the AI that I've seen and been able to use a little bit. So when we upload the images, not everybody tags things properly. So sometimes I get stuck trying to find the image. And I know if I use a couple keywords that pertain to the image, like for example, a name, and someone has a name tag, it'll pull up the image, even if it's not tagged like that. So that's been a really cool and really helpful tool that I've put into play.
Oh, amazing. Yeah, that's such a great use case for AI, the name tag side of things. All right, and we are up to our last question, and that is, what piece of advice can you give to others that are either, looking into DAM or are currently implementing a DAM?
Yeah, I think my biggest piece of advice for anyone looking to use a DAM or implementing a DAM would be not to get overwhelmed by the initial process, especially if you have a lot of assets that you're trying to put in. I think it might feel a bit tedious at the beginning. And I think I struggle with that on our team as well, because I've been a user for 5 years. Some of the new people that are kind of coming in feel like it's a lot, but it's really simple once you get the hang of it. And if you create a process from the beginning, that is going to be the game changer, because you'll have something to follow and it'll just be really streamlined for any new users that come into it. So yeah, my top 2 takeaways are, don't be overwhelmed by, the initial setup process, and have a plan when you set it up so that, everything can follow really easily from there. And the one thing that I definitely learned that I feel like I need to share, I don't know if it's changed over the years, but if you're uploading an image that has multiple images that have the same file name, for example, DSC001, make sure they're different, because I know that sometimes they can override each other. So you setting up the file name from the beginning as what you wanted to kind of show up as also was a really helpful tip for me.
Amazing. Perfect. Well, thank you so much, Cierra. I know that you coming on has been a huge value to, I'm sure, a bunch of people that are on the call today. And thank you to everyone that has joined our call today and taken the time to listen to Cierra's story. If you have any questions about what you heard today, or if you would like to share your own HotDAM talk, please send me an email at carly.hill@mediavalet.com. So have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Have a good one.